books. And this time around, it is UE enjoying a 2-0 lead against UP. But remember, again, I will stress that in the first round, it was UP that was in that position, leading 2-0 before UE made a comeback, but it just came short.
Well, again, you know, both these squads are pretty evenly matched. We always say that. But so far today in this match, UP, again, you know, not in their element. We've seen them play, and they're in that second set. They could not really overcome that 1-point barrier. There's always a barrier, really. Pag 1 point ahead na lang ang UE, they'll commit an error or you will score some points. But that's the story. They just cannot overcome that obstacle, so to speak.
Well, let's take a look at the statistics right here. A lot of unforced errors for UP in that set.
It's painful numbers to watch, especially if you're a fan of the Lady Maroons. If you just look at the unforced errors, you already know that UP basically gave that second set to UE 10 as compared to 4. Everything else will negate each other.
Once again, thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. As you see, Mike Salungan, no longer playing for UP, played out his final year of eligibility. And interesting to see Mike here.
Yeah, nice. I really love it when I see, you know, athletes from different sports. They support like volleyball or some of the players who watch a basketball game or badminton. You know, it's really nice. You can see the camaraderie of the different schools.
And we see Mike Salungan come here despite the record of the UP team, still coming out to support.
Yeah.
And you know, the basketball team of UP and the UP volleyball team, the women's volleyball team, are on a similar position right now because along with Mike Salungan, a lot of the UP players will be gone next year as well. So they're also rebuilding, much like this UP women's volleyball team.
Well, you know, each school will go through that. You know, not years ago, LaSalle wasn't there, you know, in the top. But you saw the rebuilding. Coach Ramil did an awesome job. And even Ateneo, you know, like during our time, Ateneo and NU pretty much winless. But you can see that's nice how the sport has evolved, how different schools have the recruitment program. So the level of competition is constantly improving and increasing.
You know, I was covering the game yesterday with Anne, the NU-USD game, and she was telling me about how different and how far volleyball has come here in the country. She was telling me stories about her days playing in a gloomy and dark UP gym wherein the fans can just touch them. I'd like to hear your stories naman. And how happy you are that UAP Volleyball has arrived and making the headlines now, playing at such a big arena like the Mo Arena.
Well, basically it's the same as Anne, although I'm ahead by years now. But we played in UP. Our practices were in UP. But rain or shine, we would have leaks, and we would still play with puddles there. You know, that's in fairness to us during those days. That's our commitment to the sport. We really play despite, you know, weird conditions, weird weather. We're really there for the love of the sport. There was no active recruitment program that time. During my time, there's no scholarship. I mean, you rely on yourself and your passion for the sport. So, yeah, it's different, and it's so nice because, you know, you can see the fans now enjoying, they're able to watch in air condition, diba? And Taraflex floor. We were playing on wooden floor and the puddle nga. So, good for the sport, and hopefully years to come, it'll get better and better. The level of competition will get better and better, and hopefully we can one day compete again in, you know, that level when we talk about the national team, that Southeast Asian Games.
But then it all boils down to the play of the girls on the floor, the programs of the volleyball teams, the coaches that they recruit, and it's a process of improving and improving. And this year we have 6 teams vying for a Final Four spot. Makes the game and the tournament a lot more interesting.
Yeah, that's true. And of course, not to forget about the schools getting more support from private schools, which is good also for the team because it's a very good incentive for these players. They deserve it. How the training they go through, time management with school, they really deserve the incentives that they get.
Meanwhile, UP now with a 2-point advantage here in set number 3. It's a do-or-die set for them. Tiangzon could not receive it. Geyser was able to chase it down though. Masangkay sets it up. Dawis with all her might.
You can sense that Dawis really wants to end it in 3 sets.
Now going back to Bea's report in the first set. Remember, UP was out to prove na hindi fluke yung first round win nila.
And of course, UE also out to win their first game.
Yeah. All right, let's go now to Bea.
Anton and Noreen, according to Coach Jared, in those last 2 sets, the girls were not taking chances and they weren't looking for their game inside the court. He asked them why they were hesitating to take their shots dahil dun magsisimula ang point once they go for what they're capable of. Since they're always within fighting distance, their goal in this set is to want to win and hindi lang yung naghahabol. The girls need to remove their worries and remember that they have conquered the Lady Warriors before. Anton and Noreen?
Well, now it is going to be a tougher mountain to conquer as they are down already, 2 sets to none.
Yeah, but you mentioned earlier that during their first match, UP won the first 2 sets.
Yeah.
So, we shouldn't count them out yet in this match.
Jay Alia Ong. 4.6 points per outing. Goes for that cross-court hit.
Wow, and one of the rookies of Coach Jared.
Coach Jared uses this combination of 3 veterans and 3 rookies on the floor for UP.
Well, of course, from last year, you still have, you can't take away the fact that these veterans have also gained experience and they can lead the rookies, in terms of how they progress in a game.
Although, going back, I wouldn't really call A. Magdalas a veteran yet because she's still in her sophomore year.
That's right.
And she's not a permanent first setter yet.
And also Princess Se, who's still, again, a junior together with Lizelle Pugh. So, very young team for Coach Ubalde.
Ong. That was a sharp hit. Brida from the back row. It goes long. UP heads into this technical timeout on top by 1, 8-7.